What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another live stream right here from good old Indiana, talking about the Indiana Kayak Bass Nation Series Championship. Going to recap it all for you tonight. Give me a second here. Let me get this shared out. Let some people tune in. Hit us up in the comments. Let us know you can see us and hear us. We got not one, not two, but three special guests for you tonight. Plus, of course, the Prez will be joining us here in just a moment. Hope everybody's surviving the weather. It's been a little crazy here in Indiana. Some pretty bad stuff out there, actually. So thoughts and prayers with everyone who's dealing with that. I haven't heard of any fatalities, luckily. Hopefully there isn't any, but I do know a lot of people dealing with damage. And I've been there. So I've been through floods. I've been through storm damage. I know what that's about. So I got a heart for that. I feel for you guys. Hopefully nobody too affected in our little fishing community, but if you are, definitely reach out. And little shameless plug, of course. We've got our Angler of the Year sponsor this year was Weather Tight Roofing. They do all your exterior storm damage repair. They're trusted. They've been around for a long time. I believe they're right out of the Indianapolis area is where they're kind of headquartered. And give them a call. You can trust them. They help out the nation, and let them know we sent you. And I think they could help you out. So if you got that going on, check them out. Weather Tight Roofing LLC. Find them on Facebook. And their website as well is Weather Tight Roofing LLC. All right. I think we're live. Pretty sure we're live. I see that. I've shared it. We've got a couple people watching. I don't see anything in the comments just yet, but let's go ahead and bring in our president, Mr. Merlin Hammer the Third. What's up? Yeah. Gotta make sure. Everybody's got to know he's the third.
What up?
The greatest Merlin Hammer.
I don't know about that. I can't say that.
I like it. I'm not used to you being humble. Okay, I like that. Good.
There were two pretty dang good ones before me, so I can't say anything about that.
There you go. Much respect. Well,
you hanging in? You getting rained on?
It hasn't been too bad here. We got a downpour this afternoon, and we got quite a bit of wind the other night. Sticks and stuff in the yard, some trees down here and there in the general area, but nothing too serious. Haven't lost power or anything like that. So we're good, man. I can't complain.
Here in Greenfield, I thought maybe you have to take the kayak out on the street and go down the street.
Dude, I text old Jason Wood this morning. I said, "You take the kayak or the truck into work?" Because he's over there, kind of like between Brookville and Summit and Connorsville area. Which I guess he was just kind of southwest of or southeast. I don't know how that works, but he kind of missed the worst of it. He said he had 7 inches.
Yeah.
Just north of him, though, they had like 14 plus. So wild stuff. We got lucky. I guess Brookville's going to be is not typically a place that comes up a whole lot, but I think it's going to be overloaded. I don't know what I mean. I know Grubby's got. One series already canceled for this weekend. I think it was Waldron. I might be wrong.
No, they had Kokomo.
Kokomo. That's what it was. I'm not sure if they're. I mean, Summit. It sounds like it might even just be hard getting there, depending on which direction you're coming from. So I don't know if they're doing anything with that or not.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, not us, but got that Thursday nighter tomorrow, and it's looking like I might have to figure something out, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm still not sure where I'm going to go. Hey, let's just quick plug. Anybody's watching, if you don't have anything going on tomorrow from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., even if you can't get there right at 4, USA Bassin is hosting their Thursday Nighter series, and it is a state versus state battle for the championship of the state first state tournament thing that they did. It's kind of confusing, but the only thing you really need to know right now is that tomorrow Indiana is up against New York, and they outweigh us in terms of anglers. So we need some guys to sign up and represent. So it's all the New York anglers versus all the Indiana anglers. It's one leaderboard, one payout. So that's cool. You get a nice little chunk of change on Thursday night. There's like 16, I think, signed up currently. But it's not even at the moment. New York has a couple more anglers, so let's try and get that in there. But enough about everything else. You tuned in because you want to hear how guys caught them on Brookville. We have a StarCast lineup for you tonight. Hopefully, we're going to have Jason Wood here in a little bit, but I do have already Ryan Becker and your champion in the green room. So we're going to bring them on kind of one at a time. We're going to talk through their tournaments, and we're just going to get right into it. It was an awesome way to end cap the season. I thought the event went really well. I know for me personally, I'd never been there before. Was amazed at how beautiful the lake was. Boat traffic was a little crazy. Can't deny that. But I mean, if you fished Monroe and Raccoon and Patoka, you're kind of used to it by this point. I think it was a great way to end the season. It was a new challenge for a lot of anglers had never been there, or maybe only been there once. And the lake, I mean, for August and the weather and the boat traffic and all that, it kind of showed out. I mean, it kind of showed, that hey, like this is a pretty dang good little reservoir for Indiana.
Yeah, I definitely, with having both species there, and a lot of people had mixed bags. I mean, it's not like anywhere else in the state, and the way things went down, like when I shut the standings off, and it was only like an inch apart at that time, like couldn't ask for a better like finish than what it was. So I really thought it was a great event. So
it was. I know some people left maybe a little frustrated or didn't have a great time. We'll kind of see in the leaderboard, there was definitely some people that had tough days. But I think overall, I mean, people saw it for what it was. I heard a lot of great reports. Guys really liked it. And, it's Indiana. It's tough. I think it's easy to look at the schedule and say, oh, man, why didn't they go here? Why didn't they go there? But then when you start actually thinking through it and having a conversation about it, there wasn't many other options, right? And fishing in Indiana, we could have picked everyone's favorite lake and still gone there, and it could have been tough, on the weekends. So I think it turned out really well. I'm excited to kind of go through this leaderboard and talk about it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Well, I'm going to share my screen here, and we're gonna go through day one real quick, and then we'll get into the final results and bring on our guest. So if I can do this, let's see, show. Boom, there we go. All right. So we're looking at our Hobie Eyewear Clearview leaderboard on Tourney X. This is the day one results, guys. Just kind of give you the full story. We launched at 6 a.m. on Saturday and started fishing at 6:30, and it didn't take long for the leaderboard to light up. But you'll see here, we had out of 26 anglers, we had a few have a tough day. I never even saw Jason or heard any reports.
He had equipment troubles before day one, and he just decided not to even fish. So
understandable. But yeah, 25th, first fish, our first person on the leaderboard that did fish, Brian Sprayu, 14 and a quarter, tough day, 16 for Ryan Burton. Tanya got in there with 2 fish, and she was excited about it. She found out something late in the day, caught her a couple fish. She was excited about that. Heard she made some bank anglers mad. They were a little unreasonable with her, but she caught her a couple fish. She was excited. One largemouth, one smallmouth, like you said, mixed bag at this really cool fishery. Brett McManus, another guy, had a tough one. Great angler, learning the reservoirs. He's down from southern Indiana. He fishes kind of the bluegrass stuff a little bit. we were at dinner and we were talking about, what kind of lakes he likes to fish, and I think he did well at Wawasee. I think some of these northern lakes, as we get into those, he's going to find some water that he really likes. But
I think he's probably our angler who I would say maybe covered some of the most miles through the season because he comes from way down in the corner of Indiana.
He does. Yep, he does. And relatively new to the kayak fishing scene, and he's starting to figure it out quick. So he had 29.75 on day one. Gary Freeman, everybody knows Gary. Love Gary. One of the best dudes out there. 30.5 on day one. Troy Stinson came in with 31.5. Trent, he made a post. He's struggling to figure out the reservoir thing, but he's putting in the work. And he had a 18.75 largemouth. Was that
day one big bass?
Yeah, it was our day one Biz Baits big bass. Trent, I owe you, and a couple other people some gift cards from Biz Baits. So I need to remember that. Justin Cavett, everybody knows Justin, loves Justin. Came in with 3 fish, all smallmouth bass, 44 inches on day one. Clayton Carpenter, 46 inches, another great angler. Struggling a little bit, couldn't get that limit. A lot of missed opportunities at the awards and at the boat ramp. A lot of missed opportunities talked about. We're going to get into some more of that here in just a second. So I imagine even some of these guys that don't have limits maybe had the bites, just didn't land them. It was easy to not get them in the boat this time around.
Yeah.
Our first winner's circle angler on the leaderboard here from this year. He won the first event down in Patoka, had a pretty strong showing this season. Didn't do as well as he wanted to in this one, especially on day one. You know what they say? You can't win it on day one, but you can lose it. And there was a few anglers that were feeling that as we get into the results. You'll kind of see. But 56 inches for him on day one. Jim Bailey, also 56. Just a 3/4 inches more than James. Getting into our top 14 here. Brendan McDougall, our first limit of day one was 68 3/4. Then you see myself there with 71.75. I can attest to the missed opportunities. Had 3 big fish missed opportunities on day one, and it really cost me a chance at the podium. Jackson Tinkle, 72 3/4. The Prez right there, 73 3/4. Pretty solid day. Looks like you had 1 largemouth in your bag. The rest were all smallies.
Yeah.
And they were small, too small to get you into the top 10. Where Nathaniel Wilson cracked it with 73 3/4 as well, but he edged you out with that 17.5 inch big fish there. So Mike Elsey anchored his bag with 16 1/4 for a day one total of 74 inches, calling 2 times. Brian Sparks had a really solid day one, sitting in 8th place with 74 1/4. James Miller, few inches ahead of him, though. I got to watch him catch his biggest bass of the day, the 18 1/4 inch largemouth on top water right in front of me. We both started on the same spot, and he missed a giant right after that. It was a heartbreaker. Struggled to fill out that limit, but he did. 77.5 inches thanks to that 18.25. And then Ryan Becker, which we're going to have on here in just a second, try and get him in before he heads off to work. He had a really strong day and coming in late too. It didn't happen quick for him. He had some good fish catches late in the day. 78.5 inches with 2 upgrades. Tim Dempsey right there in the same kind of boat. He worked at it all day long. 5 upgrades. Put 10 fish on the leaderboard that day, and his biggest coming in the last 15 minutes, I believe, with an 18.5 incher, which was cool to see. Michael Luke, we're gonna hear a lot about that name tonight. Had a really strong day one, 80 1/4 inches. I think this is his first time on the lake. For whatever reason, I don't see him in the green room right now, but hopefully we'll get him back in here. Maybe he stepped out for a minute to watch while we get through some of the rest of this. And then we had Jackson Orr Everybody knows that name. The hometown kid, the hero of Indiana, representing the state for so long. And I see Michael Luke back in the green room. We'll get him in here in a minute. Gosh dang it. What happened? He just dropped again. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, Jackson Orr, 81 and a half inches. He fished one event with us in 2026, the final event on Wawa Sea, qualifying for this one with the top 10. Andy Lundy, great day one, 18 and a half inch smallmouth to anchor his bag, 81.75, just behind our, there we go. I think I got him. Just behind our day one leader, the hometown favorite, Brookville native, well, Connorsville, but 83 and a quarter inches on day one, anchored by a 17 and a half inch smallmouth. Did it quick, did it fast. Didn't take him long to put that up. He was everyone thought he was the one to beat going in, and he proved it on day one. All right. Well, let's bring on our first guest. He had a great day one and backed it up with an amazing day two, finishing in third place overall. Maybe. Work on it. Come on. Mr. Becker, here he is. How we doing?
Hey, gentlemen, how we doing?
Good.
Doing well. Thanks for thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate you being here with us. We know you got to get off to working the night shift, eh?
All shifts.
Always on duty. Well, dude, you had a great day one. Finished sixth place, or you were in sixth place after day one, and then day two you ramped it up again, putting up another 84 and a quarter inches, which puts you in third for this tournament with 162.75 inches, getting on the podium, taking home some hardware, but just missing. I know one of the main reasons you were there, just missing that opportunity to punch your ticket to Lake Murray for the Natty Kayak Series Championship. How do you feel about it, man? You've had time to take it all in. How do you feel about it?
Super proud of the results I put up. Just I overcame quite a bit to get there. Never been to the lake. Navigation lights didn't work either day, so I had to wait till first light, which was like 6:45, to deploy my motor. Depth finder wiring, so I had no graph the entire weekend. Never been to the lake. Then this day two, after I paddled out to my starting spot, when it was time to deploy my motor, I left my remote in the truck. So I had to paddle back and lose about 30 minutes to go get that. Considering all that, I'm happy. A little bummed. I was really shooting for that number 2 spot, especially with some of the fish I caught on day two and the fish I lost on day two. But overall, can't complain. Third place in this field. So
yeah, man, strong showing. Impressive what you did, considering all the things you had to overcome there. I mean, you're a guy that's no, you've been around the nation stuff for a while. You've competed in a lot of stuff nationally. Tennessee Nation, you were one of the first ones getting in that from Indiana. Definitely a veteran of the sport, I would say at this point. Coming after day one, I know you were excited coming off the water after day one. You kind of figured out some stuff late. Going into day two, did you think you had a shot at the win, the podium? How are you feeling going into day two?
I felt like I could find fish, and I also felt I had some missed opportunities on day one by not expanding where I went, I guess, where I thought fish might be. So on day two, I found some stronger fish or better fish. Well, actually, my best fish came where I started on day one, but I knew where some other good fish were that helped fill out my limit on day two on a main lake point later in the morning and probably mid-morning time probably.
Yeah. I know you and I kind of fished around in the same general vicinity, but from what I could gather, we were probably doing very different things. What, anything you want to share, or you want to keep everything close to the chest? Because we are
So
going back. We are going back. So
first 2 mornings, probably it don't matter. It'll change. First 2 mornings because I had to paddle until safe sunlight, daylight. Kind of went to this closest point, had a cut, and I saw some fish busting and stuff nearby. So ran a buzz bait a little bit, nothing on that. I got to the point, started throwing jackhammer and got bit probably within 3 casts, both times, both mornings. First, probably that day one, that was my biggest fish, I believe, in the morning on the jackhammer. And that's the only one I got. No, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Later on, I did go down to the campground boat ramp
yeah,
and pulled my biggest fish on day one with a spinnerbait when the wind kind of picked up
yeah,
off that boat ramp. Then I
nice.
just kind of basically I did junk fishing 101. I was
Yeah,
kind of moving baits early in the day, some DTs, spinnerbait, jackhammer. I think I had 2 or 3 fish by then, but then got kind of slow on day one. Started going up kind of a more of a rocky bank. Started throwing Ned rig. I think I finished that. Got a limit, small limit, couple of smallmouths on that. Then day one later on, I went across the I guess the creek or bay or whatever we were in, and you had come by me, Sam,
mm-hmm.
and I stayed fishing. We talked a little bit, and after you went by, went behind you with the wacky, and that's where I got my upgrades for day one, throwing just the Senko Sungale wacky.
Yeah. No, that I knew when we crossed, I knew you were going to get into some fish for sure. I went through that area, and I had gotten a lot of bites that day. So I was fishing out and in, and when I was fishing in, I was throwing a swim jig. And I lost three. I lost 3 good ones, 2 of which were right in that general vicinity of just past where you saw me. So right around that corner there. So I had no doubt when you said you caught a couple good ones at the end, didn't surprise me one bit. They were definitely there. And it was a great day one and a great day 2 for you as well. What was your overall thought of the lake though? You said first time being there. Is there you
Yeah, but
to go
definitely
back?
it looked fishy. Like had all kinds of structure that I beat the bank, so obviously
Mm-hmm.
it's what I would want. Basically, you got good points, you got good rock, you got good wood. Um, so it kind of set up to how I would want to fish if I didn't have any electronics, which I didn't. I'm just going
Right.
points, inside cuts, secondary points, stuff like that. I did find it very interesting that a lot of times smallmouth and largemouth, you find them in different parts of the lake.
Yeah, they don't mix.
This lake, they were all together, like
Yeah,
different
schooling
parts. Like
together.
where I caught those fish on Wacky, I caught a smallmouth on like an 11-inch smallmouth on a koiki.
Yeah.
Is just strange.
Yep. I agree. I agree with that. I don't have a ton of experience with smallmouth, but that's what I've always seen as well. So, well, you're gonna have another chance to get a crack at it here in April. We're gonna potentially be going back to Brookville.
That should be fun.
So we'll be releasing the full schedule here very soon. But there's a little teaser for those of you watching. So we will be returning to Brookville next year, maybe very early in the year. So should be a totally different experience. But yeah.
Interesting part on day 2, my big fish and my biggest smallmouth came 200 feet apart.
Oh wow!
In the same area, like both on a jackhammer.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
Smalley magic with the razor shad.
Okay, very cool, very cool.
And
Got any other baits there you want to show off?
Day 2 was a finesse jig later in the day that I lost a 19-inch smallmouth on. then that probably would have helped me move up to where I wanted to be. But
Is
this
that
was
got any mid roll on there?
Ned roll and the Great Lakes finesse, finesse
Nice.
jig.
Nice. It's good
So
stuff.
Becker's also gonna be going for it again this weekend in Tennessee. So we're gonna be rooting for him to get one of those spots.
We're gonna try.
Yeah. And then we're going to all be rooting for him to beat the president, Merlin Hammer III, at Wolf and Fox here next weekend. So
there's gonna be a handful of us up there for that one.
Yeah. Well, man, I know you wanted to punch your ticket to the championship, and obviously everybody wants to win, but it's got to feel good to get a top 3, and it's got to feel even better to beat the president. And
hard to beat sometimes. Hard to beat.
Yeah. Well, man, I know you got to get off to work, so I don't want to keep you too long. I could talk to you all night. I got all kinds of questions as you were talking there. I could have fired at you, but definitely want to be respectful of your time.
Let
you get back off, and maybe we'll talk to you over the winter as we look back at the season and talk about what went down.
For sure, sounds good, man.
All right, thank you, Becker. Be safe out there.
Thanks, guys.
Woo! He's done well down there before too.
Yeah,
so,
he knows that area. So
yeah, man, absolutely. Well, the next guest we wanted to have on was Mr. Jason Wood. I'm not sure where he's at. He has not. He's not joined us yet. He might be out there rescuing people out of the water. Truthfully, that could very well be the case. Definitely rough in his area. Kind of fast forward a little bit through the leaderboard talk, just because I wanted to get to Becker. He did need to take off before 9 o'clock, be respectful of his time. So I'm going to jump back into the leaderboard real quick, and we're going to take a look at day 2, get into the overall totals, and then we're going to bring on our champion. So let's do that now. And let's take a look at your day 2 results. You're going to see some zeros there. Some guys opting out of fishing on day 2, and get home to the family and work and those sorts of things, and that's understandable. And then our first angler on the leaderboard on day 2 here with a 12-inch smallmouth bass. Actually, I think it was a largemouth. Categorized there was Tanya. If you can recall, she had 2 fish on day 1. Maybe it was 3. But struggled a little bit in this one, but she liked the lake, and I got a feeling she's going to come back stronger next year.
She didn't walk away empty-handed though, because Austin Killian, who showed up, nicely donated $50 to our smallest fish of day 2, and so she got that.
Yeah, Austin Killian of Killian Tile, giving out a $50 gift card. Huge shout out to him. Always supporting the kayak series here in Indiana. Obviously a kayak angler himself. And I hope to see him on the water with us next year. Serving his community as a fireman as well.
Yeah.
So, huge shout out to him. B-Man, 13 inches. James Miller, a 15 1/4. His morning spot did not pan out. The smallmouth had moved out of the area. No topwater action for him. And I know he took off a little bit early. Ryan Burton with 2 fish for 33 1/4 inches. Brett McManus, he improved. 53 3/4 inches. Just 1 fish away from the limit. If I'm not mistaken, he said he lost a big one. That would have skyrocketed him up a little bit. And then in 14th place on day 2, this is just day 2 results. The president, 68 1/4. Jackson Tinkle was 70 1/4. Jim Bailey, 71 1/4. Then we start getting a little juicier here. Andy Lundy, if you remember, was 2nd place on day 1. Struggled a little bit. Ended with 71.50 in 11th place on day 2. Jackson Orr putting up 72 inches. Also a guy that was in our top 5, fallen a little bit. I hear he was on a magical Magical School possibly on day one, and
Yeah.
then just didn't show up on day two.
He also said he lost the biggest smallmouth of his life at the last hour of that tournament.
Oh wow, I did not hear that. That's pretty crazy because Jackson Orr's caught some big smallmouth.
Yeah.
Some big smallmouth. He's done a lot of smallmouth fishing in the rivers locally, and he's fished all over the country. So that's kind of cool. Wow, did not know that. Tim Dempsey, remember on day one, caught a big fish late to rocket him up the leaderboard. He had 74, 75, very respectable finish on day two. For day two, Brendan McDougall with 78 3/4, one of our biggest movers after day one. He had 69 inches and some change on day one. Nathaniel Wilson breaking the 80-inch mark with 17.5-inch largemouth, all largemouth bass for 80.5 inches there in 7th place. The two-time HKB state champion, KBF national champion, and multi-time 10-house angler, plus a number of other victories, and just an incredible angler. Mike Elsey with 80 3/4 inches. Not a fan of Indiana reservoirs, but he was trying hard to punch that ticket, and he fell a little bit short. We'll see that here in the final standings in a second. James England, another guy with a huge comeback on day two, 82 1/4 inches. He had 3 good ones right off the rip, and then continued to fill out that limit as the day went on. I know it got a little slower for him, but really strong limit there. And then our day one leader, he was consistent. He did not fall. He did not come up with a big limit. He just stayed really consistent. He anchored his 83-inch bag with a 17 1/4, upgrading 3 times. Day one, he caught a lot of his fish early. Day two, it seemed like it took him a little bit longer to get that limit and get that 83 inches. I do know that he also lost what he believed was a 20-plus inch smallmouth midday, jumped off on him. And he said that when he lost that fish, he knew he lost this tournament, felt like he potentially lost this tournament. And unfortunately, he was correct. It did cost him big, although everyone had some missed opportunities, including our champion. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. We just talked to him, finished in 3rd place. Ryan Becker with 84 1/4 inches, a 19.5-inch largemouth bass on day two, anchoring his limit and getting him big bass honors for the tournament. Take away that BizBaits Big Bass trophy or check. I'm sorry, and trophy. And then day two, yours truly got my stuff together. Didn't miss any out. Well, I actually did. I have 2 missed opportunities. One's a crazy story, but nobody cares about that. 84 1/4 inches. I got to upgrade 5 times. Found me some brush piles. Found me a little school, actually a big school, and spot locked for 2.5 hours on that school, which was really cool. I needed that badly, not just for this tournament, but in general. And then you see the biggest bag of the limit, or the biggest bag of the weekend, Michael Luke with 88 1/4 inches, which brings us to the final total. See it here. Michael Luke, 168 1/4 inches, edging out the hometown favorite by 2 inches. Let's get him on here. Your 2026 Newport Vessels Indiana Kayak Bass Nation Series champion, presented by D Hooker, Michael Luke.
That's quite an intro, Sam. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Well, you deserved it. You're the first ever. There will be many champions, hopefully, but there will only be one first, and it is you, sir. How does it feel?
Feels pretty great. Very happy about this. as you can imagine. The biggest thing for me is I know how good everybody in that field was. So to come out on top of that group of guys and gals, yeah, feels pretty good.
That big checklist still back there.
I know. Yeah.
Right next to it is that ticket. Punch that ticket. You are now qualified for the Natty, the Bassmaster Kayak Series Championship on Lake Murray in South Carolina. I know you're pumped about that as well.
Yes. Went down there. I can't remember. I think it was early last year or year before. Merlin, when was that?
It was 2 years ago in the spring.
Yeah. I didn't do so well down there, but I love the lake. I kind of figured some stuff out on the afternoon of the last day, kind of too little too late kind of situation, but it left me kind of wanting to get back there. So, when I saw you guys starting this and saw that that's where the championship was going to be, I kind of started drooling a little bit. So,
Nice.
Yeah, motivated to get myself there somehow.
Well, you did it. You pulled it off, man, in a big way. You talked about it. This field was stacked. I mean, truly some of the best anglers in the state. There's no way to deny that. And to come out on top in a championship where everybody was gunning, not only to get that, but to a lot of guys wanting to make it to Murray. One of those guys that we talked about being the hometown favorite, guys grown up fishing this lake, cut his teeth on this lake. Jason Wood, you and him both will be representing Indiana in the at Lake Murray. But man, it had to feel good to edge out that victory over someone who was the favorite to win this thing.
Yeah, kind of surprising. I mean, like I said, I don't have a ton of history on Brookville. I fished an IKA there last year. It was in the spring. I think it was early May or mid-May, something like that. I had a good day there, so I think I finished in the top 5, and I had to leave early that day. I know, but I what I saw, I liked. So I was being cautious, optimistic going into this, thinking this was going to be a pretty good lake to go fish. I heard it's been fishing hot this year, so yeah, I had a positive attitude going into it. Obviously, I've had a good streak going here, so feeling good about my fishing. And the fishing.
That might be the understatement of the year right there. Little pause. A pretty good streak. Understatement or just being very humble. I have to brag on you for a second. Not only did you just beat one of the best fields assembled in Indiana to win this championship, but you have truly been on probably an unprecedented tear. I can think of a few streaks we've seen in Indiana over the years, and the one that you're on right now is pretty dang impressive. If I'm not mistaken, you've either won or come in second in like your last 8 events. It seems like. I know.
Well, I don't know if it's that far, but Wawasee wasn't good. After that,
after Wawasee,
started to pick it up.
Yeah.
After Merlin pushed me down that boat ramp.
Yeah, Merlin tried to take you out so he could have his honey hole to himself. You bang your head, and then you go on a tear after that. Let's see, what do we got here? We got a Thursday nighter win. We got an Eagle Creek win. We've got a West Fogs win. We've got a second place at Bluegrass. We've got
third place at Bluegrass, the big bass too.
Third place at Big Bass. Okay, so still top 3. Obviously a championship. So we're up to 5 top 3s. And there's one other, isn't there?
There might have been another Thursday nighter in there.
Another Thursday nighter. So yeah, on an epic tear right now, and racking up wins and top 3s. Man, what's changed? Is it just purely you got on them and you just the confidence from that and you've kept the momentum going, or have you made an adjustment in how you fish? Are you fishing freer? What's going on, man?
So I mentioned Wawasee, and obviously I saw you there. I was a little frustrated after that day. Not so much the fishing, I guess. Fishing wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. But just had a lot of other like background junk going on that day that was, distracting. I won't get into all of it, but like it was just kind of one of those chaotic days, and I came back home. I was a little frustrated. My wife said, she's like, when you have all that other crap going on those days like that, she's like, you never fish good. And so I was kind of like, yeah, you're right. So I kind of took that as I need to get my crap together a little bit. So tried to get a little bit more organized, a little more prepped, make sure my boat was good, make sure my tackle was good, all that kind of stuff. Just be ready for anything. Don't let things that you can't control throw you off or whatever. I mean, I think I can't remember the first one I fished after that. I want to say it was bluegrass.
I think so.
Which I'd never been to before, and I get down there and I go to hook up my fish finder, and the terminal on my electronics battery just snapped clean off. Like I had it mounted in the kayak was broke, and it was rumbling around the whole way down there, a long trip. And I was like, all right, no electronics today. Lake I've never been on. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. Let's just go fishing. So I tried not to let that bother me. Ended up having a great day. So, kind of mental side of things, I think that helps with decision making. Helps
absolutely.
And so that was a great day down there. I had a lot of fun. Like I said, never been down there. I think I had 95 inches and got third. That place got some big fish in it, but so I don't know. I felt looser, felt more comfortable, felt better going into the next one, which I think was, I want to say Boggs. I like that lake a lot. Had a good day there too, so it just kind of
snowballed,
kind of kept rolling. So
yeah, fast forward to the championship, and you have a strong day one. I got to remind myself where you were at on day one. You had
80 and a quarter.
80 and a quarter. So, definitely within striking distance. Obviously, I don't think anybody felt out of it after day one that was sitting in probably even like the top 10. Things can reverse. But how did you feel about your odds going into day two?
I felt pretty comfortable. I got that day one limit, I think by 10:30 or 10:45, and I was fishing an area. It was a fairly large area, but I was kind of getting bites all over, and it seemed like the board was tight. I think at the time that I got that limit, I was in the lead. I mean, there was a handful of guys that hadn't posted anything yet, but I made the decision. I was like, a lot of the fish I was catching were all the same size. They were all between 14 and 17 inches. And I kind of made the decision. I was like, I think these fish will be pretty valuable tomorrow if it's going to be this tight.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to leave them alone and go fish elsewhere. I was honestly fairly confident that I could go somewhere else and upgrade. That turned out not to be true. So I left there at about 10:30, 10:45 and started covering a lot of water. A lot of the stuff I got to, I think like we were talking about earlier, I think the boat traffic had messed up some of that stuff. I found some banks where some laydowns and stuff like that. Planned on flipping jigs, and I like doing that kind of stuff middle of the day when the sun gets high and all that. But some of that water was so murky and all that I don't think
washed out.
They were quite there. So I did that for a couple hours, and then said, after no bites, this ain't working. I was comfortable with the 80 and a quarter. I thought if I could do that again tomorrow, that'll be a pretty good tournament and a 2-day tournament. So, at the end of the day, obviously a couple of people, went ahead of me, and I was, I think the gap was 3 or 3 inches, something like that. So
3 inches.
It's like, okay, this is still doable. Nobody posted like a 90 or anything like that. So, still, I felt pretty good about it, after day one. Bless you.
Thanks.
So yeah, I got on like I said, I got on early. I went into the air, kind of went into that area thinking I was going to do one thing for largemouth, and could not get a bite doing that. When I start covering water, I started throwing a jackhammer. That's when I started getting bit on. There was a lot of grass in the area that I was kind of ripping it through that grass, and they were hitting it. I was ripping it out of there, almost like a pre-spawn deal in August.
Yeah, nice.
So it was weird, and then like the smallmouth and the largemouth seemed to all be mixed together. I think on day one I was catching more largemouth than I was smallmouth, but smallmouth I was catching were better quality. So
yeah, lengthwise for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but that's kind of how day one went for me.
Did bait play a big role in anything you were doing?
Yeah, there was bait all over, and they were what I think I kind of learned on day two was they were coming up and pushing those balls of bait up, and when they were up doing that, things were crazy. Because so going into day two now. Can you guys hear me all right? Is it like
yeah, you're good.
All right. Day two, kind of went straight to the spot I did well on day one, and it was almost the same cast for an hour and a half, and got up to 86, I think, mostly smallmouth.
So was it? I don't want to give too much away about your spot, obviously, because it's probably obviously something you're going to want to use again.
Yeah.
But was it like a hard spot or a high spot, or was it a ditch, or like when you say it was the same cast? Like I know for me, I found some brush piles, and I found some hard spots and stuff, and I get bits and stuff like that. But I found kind of like a little bit of a depression, if you will, and there was a good group in there at one point. So was anything like that, or was it more just a flat that they were kind of pushing in on?
I didn't see anything super obvious like that. There was I would say a slight change in depth, and the what's the word I'm looking for? The density of the grass, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Area is kind of where it went from sporadic grass to, I'd say,
transitioning a little.
So I don't know if they were using that and pushing the bait up against that and getting after it, but the whole stretch is a very large area that I was fishing had fish, but it seemed like this one little spot within a spot was
right.
So
were you using your scope at all to help you?
I use it all the time now, just as like my general.
Yeah, I mean, just to look at those grass lines or anything like that.
Yeah, I was using it that way. I wasn't looking at individual fish and doing that thing, but there was a couple times where, when I was throwing the chatterbait, you see it buzzing across your screen, and let's say it was in my chatterbait's going at 5 feet of water, and let's say it's 8 or 9 feet deep. I'd see something shoot out of the grass in the bottom and come smash it. So I knew they were down that grass.
Yeah.
So it's just, you wouldn't necessarily see him on the screen, Merlin, but they were buried down in that stuff.
Yeah, I was wondering more if you were using it for like what your structures and things you were targeting.
I was using it for that. Although on day two, it just shut off at about 12 or 12:30. I don't think I got my battery charged all the way. So.
Oh wow.
But at that point, I mean, I was fishing the same stuff all day long.
So on day two, at what point did you say to yourself, "Man, I don't have a shot at just being on the podium, but I think I can win this thing"?
So once I got, it was probably 8:30 or 9. I had 86 some inches. I felt like, obviously, I think I felt pretty good about that. But
right.
As the day went on, I'm generally not a leaderboard checker, but I was on Sunday.
Sure.
So I was pretty anxious. And I start seeing people start working their way up, and I started questioning my decision on Saturday to not
About holding off.
an 8. The one what I had, I can't remember what my smallest was on Saturday. I think it was 14 and a quarter, 14 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, I should have tried and got one more 16 or something like that. I did lose probably a 17 and a half on Saturday. That was early in the morning. I didn't think much of it at the time, but I started thinking about that, and then so that morning bite kind of died, and it was pretty quiet for me for several hours Sunday afternoon. So as time went on, yeah, that started creeping into my head for sure. And my smallest, I think, was 16 and a half. I was like, I need to upgrade this, like at least a half inch or an inch or something would make me feel a lot better. Then I think the last time I saw the leaderboard was probably around 11:30 or noon or something like that. And I think Jason had finally posted his fish, and I think he was within a half inch or 3/4 of an inch or something. I was like, no. And he had a 14 something. I was like,
yeah,
for sure he's going to upgrade that. And so then I kind of got, okay, we need to buckle down here and get something. So about trying to remember what time it was. I'd say probably within an hour and a half at the end of the tournament, kind of got into them again. Same area. I was getting a few on the jackhammer, but not. I got 2 or 3 right away. They all felt good, but there are a lot of 14 and a half to 15 and a half, 16. None of them were helping me. I was catching 3, 4, 5. None of them were helping me. So I switched up. The jackhammer deal kind of died off a little bit. So I started throwing a mag shaky, kind of around the same area. And they started hitting the snot out of that. Again, 16 and a quarter, 16 and a half. And I'm just like, man, I probably went through a dozen fish like that.
Yeah.
This every time I set the hook, this is the one I need.
Yeah.
15 and a half. I'm like, man. So, so since my electronics were off, that's usually how I keep track of time. Obviously, I have the phone in my pocket, but I'm not pulling my phone out all the time looking at it. So I set an alarm on my phone just as the end of the tournament. Like, I'm just going to fish until the end. I'm not going to look at my phone. So I have no idea what time it is. I know it's getting close. And I hook into one, and this time I was like, oh, yes, this is the one. And it was this big smallmouth. As soon as there's a half a second there where I thought maybe it was a catfish because I've been catching a bunch of them. And as soon as I realized it was a smallmouth, it shot about 2 or 3 feet straight up in the air. And I was like, oh, no, I'm going to lose this. And that's the fish I need. Luckily, did not lose it. Went back down in the water, made another run. I got it in. Of course, I'm scrambling because I feel like my alarm's going to go off at any time telling me the tournament's over and I'm not going to get a picture. But I pulled my phone out. I think it was 2:17 or something like that, 2:16. So I knew I had a few minutes. So that's the one right there. So I felt pretty confident after I got that. That was a 2-inch upgrade for me. So I didn't know for sure, but I mean, I knew that's pretty much probably all I could do at that point. So.
Yep. Well, walking backwards a little bit to kind of bring some drama to this. Was talking with Jason afterwards, and your 18.5-inch fish is what prevented a tie at the top. So you'll notice that, let's see here. You were exactly 2 inches ahead of Jason Wood. So without that 18.5, we were trying to figure out, and I think you would have been a tie, but you would have still won.
What is it? Next biggest fish or something?
With the next biggest fish. Yeah. So you had an 18.
That's a little 18 too comfort.
In a quarter. So it would have been really close, but that 18.5 definitely sealed the deal for sure, and was huge, man. Kind of just going through it again real quick. Like you said, you had 80 and a quarter on day 2, biggest bag of the limit with 88, or biggest bag of the tournament with 88 inches on day 2, which is very strong, by the way. Not a whole lot of tournaments. Kayak fishing have been held on Brookville, but I went back and looked through all of them, and that is one of the best limits ever recorded out there. Jason Wood actually is the only one to record a higher limit, I believe, if memory serves me correctly. But regardless, it's a top score out there for sure. 168.25 inches for 2 days. Like we said just a moment ago, edging out Jason Wood by 166.25 inches, and Ryan Becker, who had 162.75 inches to round out the top three. And then from there, it significantly drops off. So the key here is we look at the top two for sure, but really even the top three was just consistency over the 2 days, which you had, obviously. And it sounds like for the most part it was on the jackhammer. Was there and then you said some mag shaky head stuff? Was there any other players in that, or
was a lot of stuff I threw? But honestly, I think 9 of the 10 fish that I ended up using were all on jackhammer. That 18.5 was the one I caught on the shaky head. I caught a lot of other ones on the shaky head, just none that I ended up entering or whatever using. But that was really the only two. I mean, I tried a lot. I tried topwater. I tried urchins. I tried jig. I threw buzz baits, other worms, other shaky heads, Cincos. I mean, I kind of ran through the gamut. But
sure,
on when I after day one, and I threw a lot of that stuff day one, and but going into day 3, I think I had 3 or 4 jackhammers tied on Sunday.
I believe it. That's a good feeling right there when you know
getting bites on. So
yeah,
I was just like, well, I don't know what else to do. So
nice,
did the deal. So
well, Prez, you got any questions for our inaugural champion, Mr. Michael Luke?
I don't think so. I mean, he did a pretty good rundown. Are you going to defend it next year?
That's the plan. Did you say you were going back there? I was trying to log in and out. You said you didn't see me.
Yeah. So we're going to release the schedule probably here in a couple weeks when the president gets back from Wolf and Fox. We'll do a little 26 recap show and a little 2027 preview. As everybody knows, we're going to Patoka. Well, maybe not everybody, but everybody should know that we are going to Patoka in conjunction with Grubby for our first event of the season. Then we are going to Monroe for our second event of the season, which will be the first weekend of November 6th or 7th.
You don't have to hunt that day.
You don't have to hunt. We know there's some hunters that are not happy with us on that scheduling.
There's a lot of other hunting days.
There are other kinds of days. We'll save that. That's a topic for another day. But to Michael Luke's question, we did tease earlier in the show. We will be going to Brookville for our first event in the spring.
Cool.
Of next year in April. Now this is all pending permits and any other things that could get in the way there, but we should be back to Brookville sometime in April. How do you feel about that?
Pretty good. I was actually thinking when I left there, I was like, I'd like to fish this in the spring.
Yeah. Thing about Mike is he's always been a spring guy, and lately he's a summer guy, apparently.
Like, this place would be fun in the spring.
Yeah. I recall you saying it fished like
spring. No joke. Just that lake being so, north and south along a skin, boats just run up and down all day long, and there's nowhere to go to get away from that, it seemed like. So we should be a little more fishable in April.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'd look forward to that.
Are you joining us tomorrow night for the USA Bass and Thursday night showdown against New York?
I believe so. So. One way or another.
Well, better get signed up then.
Yeah.
Better get signed up.
On the list.
I'm going to have to throw him down the ramp this time.
I could have watched you would believe how cautious I am on the ramp now.
Hey, I do want to bring up a topic real quick because of that. So I've been trying to say this because I actually got out of the habit, and after I heard your story and I saw a couple other stories recently, I just want to throw something out there to everybody watching right now. Okay. especially in the summer, but really just anytime. I made a habit of this early and I got out of this habit. I want everybody to make this a habit. Put your PFD on before you launch your kayak and keep your PFD on when you take your kayak out of the water. And here's the reason. A lot of times as kayak anglers, we're launching early in the morning. We're launching in remote locations. We're launching where signal's not great. But more importantly, we're launching a lot of times nobody's there. And even if somebody is there, if you fall, hit your head, if you fall and put yourself in a situation, it takes inches of water to drown, y'all, inches of water to drown. And so put that PFD on before you launch. Keep it on when you take the boat out and prevent yourself from getting in a situation where you're knocked out and you don't have a chance to come to because you've already drowned. We don't want to see that happen. So PFD is important to have on all the time when you're on the water, but think about it on the ramp too. In the summertime, this algae gets bad. They get slick. They get nasty. It's super easy. A lot of kayak anglers were kind of like walking down the trailer to try and push it off and that sort of stuff. It's easy to slip and fall. I've seen lots of videos recently of people doing that. And that's something that I want everybody to keep in mind. I know also a lot of guys, another little quick safety thing, I know a lot of guys wear the inflatables. I think those are the worst things ever created, and nobody should ever wear those. But a lot of guys wear them. But for those of you that wear a true PFD, one that will actually save your life no matter the circumstances, and not go off when it shouldn't and not go off when it should. You wear a real PFD with pockets. Put your keys in your phone, in your PFD, not in your boat. Because if you get separated from your boat in the water, your boat goes down and you don't have a phone, you don't have keys. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? So just two little PFD things. I'll get off my soapbox. But please, if you don't take me up on the phone and keys one, at least take me up on wearing the PFD while you're launching and loading up, please. Okay.
I think I was going down to my boat to get the PFD when it happened.
That's usually how I do it too.
Yeah.
It
was a scary deal for sure. Could have been a whole lot worse real easily, but thankful it wasn't.
Yeah, I am too. Although it seems like the bump in the head was the thing to get your head right.
Maybe
get you going. So
I'm not going to try that.
You talked about that mental aspect, and I could go on a whole spill about that, but I don't want to. I want to be cautious of your time here. I appreciate you coming on, and man, if I want to give you the opportunity, if there's anyone you want to thank, sponsor wise, and that sort of thing, I'll give you an opportunity to do that because you just closed out a big season. So
no sponsors, but I do want to thank again you two, Sam and Merlin, for starting this series. I'd kind of been thinking about it. Why doesn't Indiana have one of these yet? We got a lot of great series for sure, and I like to fish on all of them. But having a path to qualify for the national championship through bass, I think that's pretty appealing, and I kind of like the way it's set up. With the places we fish and the people it draws and the way it's, I think it creates a pretty good competitive environment for those of us that are looking for that. So thank you to you two. I will also thank my traveling buds, Jason Kennedy, Andy Lundy, Nate Williams. We have a great time together. Unfortunately, Jason had some mechanical issues on this one, so he didn't get out. But yeah, we have a good time with each other. We bounce a lot of stuff off each other. We learn a lot from each other. We build each other up when we're doing good. So it's a great group. Definitely got to thank my wife and my kids for allowing me the time to go do this stuff. It's a lot of time. I was actually asking my wife tonight about tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's all right, honey.
Said, well, you keep winning, so you should probably go.
Probably should go. Yeah, it does make it easier to ask when you win it and bring it back a little bit of change with it.
She'll be able to get rid of you for a week in October.
Yeah, that too. So,
well,
yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, man. We appreciate you fishing with us this year, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see what next year brings for you, and see if we can keep this train rolling. How are you feeling? How are you feeling about the new format, which we haven't like publicly talked about a whole lot yet, but it's going to be 7 events. It's going to be 6 regular season events with a championship, and it's going to be loose, drop 2. So, what do you think?
I mean, other than the November 5th one, I'm fine with it. No, I mean, more's good. I drop 2. I mean, yeah, no, I mean, that gives you some flexibility a little bit anyway. I mean, we all got stuff going on in our lives that
Yep.
you can't always make every single one. So, or even if it's, there's one that you're not wanting to do, like you feel a little bit better about maybe dropping that one. But no, I'm excited to see the schedule. I'm sure it'll be good. I'm along for the ride.
Nice. Awesome, man. Well, we appreciate you, dude. Thanks again for joining us tonight and taking time out of your evening. And man, congrats. First ever Indiana Kayak Bass Nation champion.
Yes,
Gotta
sir.
feel good. Gotta feel good.
Appreciate it. Thanks,
All right, buddy.
Good job,
Well,
man.
we'll see you maybe we'll see you on the water tomorrow. Hopefully we do.
Good. Somewhere.
All right. We got to represent.
All right.
All right. We'll see you, man.
We'll do.
Thank you so much.
Later.
All right. Legendary status now.
Oh yeah.
Michael Luke etching his name in the Indiana Kayak Bass Fishing history books. We don't have an Indiana Bass Fishing Hall of Fame yet, but if we did, that would be one giant leap forward to getting his name in that. Wow, what a tournament! I'm going to bring the leaderboard up one more time before we end this thing, Merlin, because I just want to give everybody who made it into this event kudos. First year of the nation and getting to fish in the championship is something to be proud of. And we'll just go through it one more time. Michael Luke, obviously your champion with 168.25 inches. Jason Wood in second place with 166.25 inches. Ryan Becker rounding out the podium with 162.75 inches. Our discount tackle, first out of the money.
For the third time this season.
None other than that Sam Jones guy.
Literally 3 out of 5 events you took that.
3 out of, if nothing else, I'm incredibly consistent.
Hey, you got an NY, so I mean your consistency paid off.
It did pay off. I did. It did pay off. Got the win at Raccoon. Outside of that, I was like the first out of the money every time. Nice little comeback. I was happy about that. Mike Elsey in 5th place, 154.75. Like I said, he went up to Wawasee with the goal of getting to this event and using this event to get him into the Natty. Coming up a little short, a couple places short, but still a great showing there. Guy doesn't fish Indiana a whole lot anymore. He's always traveling when he is fishing, and still showing everybody he's one to watch out for. Tim Dempsey, big day on day 1. Needed a kicker on day 2. Couldn't find it. 154.5 inches for 6th place. Nathaniel Wilson having, I think, probably maybe his best finish of the year. I might be mistaken in saying that, but I feel like it might be his best finish of the year. 154.25 inches.
He was one of our anglers that qualified. Him and Tim both qualified via AOI instead of by a top 10. So.
Yep. Jackson Orr, like we said, he went up to Wawasee, qualified for this event, came in with 153.5 inches. Really needed a kicker on day 2. Sounds like he had an opportunity at a lake record maybe, and wasn't able to boat it, unfortunately. Andy Lundy, one of the we need a name for Michael Luke and his crew.
Yeah.
I don't know if Michael Luke's the leader of that crew or not, but we're going to say he is now because he's the champion. But we need a name for that. You know how like there's little cliques on the MLF circuit and on the Bass circuit, and they got little cool names. We need a name for that crew. Great group of guys. He talked about how they're building each other up and lifting each other up. And the brotherhood in bass fishing and kayak bass fishing is one of the coolest things about it. And then the little brotherhoods within the brotherhood. You know, those I'm stoked for those guys that they have that. But to Andy Lundy in our top 10 there, 9th place with 153.25 inches. Rounding out the top 10 with a nice comeback on day 2 was Brennan McDougal, the kid, 147.5 inches. Jackson Tinkle, 11th place, 143. The Prez in 12th place was 142. James England, 138. Jim Bailey, 128. James Miller, with only one fish on day 2, 92.75 inches. For our top 15, Brett McManus. I got a feeling this guy right here is going to start figuring out these reservoirs soon enough, and he's going to be a player. Brian Sparks, always a player. I don't think he even really – I think he left early.
He did fish too, but yeah, he left. Yeah.
Yeah. Ryan Burton, Clayton Carter, Justin Cabet, Tanya Almond, Trent Rutherford, Troy Stinson, Gary Freeman, Ryan Spray, and Jason Kennedy. Congratulations to all for just making this event. That is something to be proud of. Thank you for fishing with us, everyone. Wish we could have got to 30 anglers on this one. I think we had like 36 qualified. If we would have got to 30, we could have sent 3 to the championship. But instead, Jason Wood and Michael Luke will be representing us in the Natty. And if I might just say so, Mr. President, congratulations on a well-ran 2026 Newport Vessels Indiana Kayak Bass Nation Series presented by D Hooker. It was awesome, man. A lot of memories made. I enjoyed it. Thank you for letting me be a part of it. Be your right-hand man.
I mean, it's exciting. I mean, we wrapped it up, but it's already less than 2 months till we start again. So
2 months. And we got a lot of cool things to announce in the coming weeks. We're going to take a little bit of a breather, take a little break. Merlin's going to go on a couple fishing trips. I'm going to spend some time watching a lot of football and hanging out with the kids and getting some much needed yard work done around the house. But we're going to come back strong very soon. Registration for the 2027 membership season is going to be starting up September 1st. We'll probably open up registration for at least the first event then. But we'll drop some schedule news on you guys here soon. We'll drop some sponsor announcements on you guys here soon. We already got some commitments, and we're excited about what's coming for the 2027 season. I got to give a huge shout out real quick. Walton Rods, by the way, guys, if you did not fish an event with us this season, at each event we gave away a Walton rod. At the championship, we gave away 2. And we did that through what's called the Walton Rods Wild Card, which before each event, we draw a random size fish. Anyone who catches that fish is entered to win the Walton Rod through a random draw after the event. So huge shout out to them. They were big this year. Hobie Eyewear hooking everybody up with sunglasses. All of our winners with gift cards for sunglasses. We had some Yak Attack and BizBaits giving out gift cards, and cash was huge. Of course, Newport, man, big time Newport. $750 to the Angler of the Year gift card, and then Michael Luke just got himself a brand new NK180H. Dude, he can dual motor now. Not in the tournament because that's not allowed, but he can dual motor now. And that's pretty sick.
What wild card for that event also was Tim Dempsey and Brendan McDougal. So.
Tim Dempsey and Brendan McDougal take it home. Walton RCT lineup. Pretty awesome stuff there, man. But it's been a great year, dude. I'm excited for this upcoming season, these fall events, and it's going to be fun, man.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be really exciting, like you said. I mean, I mean, starting with a bang with that Grubby Championship combo with us. It's gonna be awesome. I mean, get things started right. So we also we're working on some really cool stuff for the next season and some things that we'll be able to announce here soon that I'm ready to talk about. But we'll wait till we can get to that stuff. So
Yep. All right. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in and joining us for this recap show of the 2026 state championship. If you haven't already, go check out our website, indianakayakbassnation.com. See what we're all about, and come fish with us this season, man. We've got guys and gals who are just getting started, all the way up to guys who've been doing it for a dozen plus years and traveling. It's an amazing time. A lot of guys getting together on campsites and at the boat ramps, going out to dinner. There's so much more than just a tournament here. It's an awesome community. We want to see you get involved. But if you're like, man, I'm just not ready for that. It looks cool. I like it. I'm not ready for it, but I want to get into kayak bass fishing. Man, we have great partners over there at GRBY, Grubby, as we all call it, Grassroots Bass Yakin. They run an amazing club over there, which is perfect, again, for everyone from entry level all the way up, but allows you to fish close to home and get in on competition and do it on a day that works best for your schedule. So go check them out on Facebook and their website, which is grubbyindiana.com, I believe. So, yeah, want to thank Ryan Reedy and his whole group of admins over there at Grubby for supporting us this year and being with us in partnership. They are our grassroots partner. It's been an amazing season. Thank you all for watching. Merlin, you got anything before we end this stream?
One more thank you. I just want to thank every angler who fished with us this year, gave me a chance. I'm the first time doing leadership role, and you guys received it awesomely. You showed up to every event. You came in. You did what you were supposed to. We had Chris Hillenbrand barely had to ask anybody to change anything. Everybody did great, and I just appreciate everybody. So,
yep. And thank you to Chris. Thanks for backing us.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it without him. So great call out there. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us all season long and tonight. We hope to see you very soon as we kick off the 2027 season. We'll be back with more information, more news, how to get involved, what's coming up, sponsors, all that very soon. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.